online money makers. This is Michelle Brubaker here, and I'm bringing with me today Liz G. Is it G or G?
G.
G. Okay, Liz G. And this is a really fun interview. We talked yesterday, and you're going to get a lot out of this one because you know what? I'm always talking to people who are wanting to start a business. Maybe they created a craft or jewelry, or they're creating some holistic products or natural products, whether it be lip balm or bath salts or any essential oil products that you created. So there's so many things that fall into this category of creating boutique items. And the reason I asked Liz to be here is because she's created 2 stores, very renowned stores with, well-known names, and she sells a lot of product. And so that's why I brought her here today, because a lot of times people ask me, hey, I'm creating, bath bombs with essential oils, and I want to create a store with those, or I've created a craft, and she's going to talk about that with us today. So Liz, what I want you to do is introduce yourself, just kind of maybe give a little bit of history and background of where you're from, and then we'll jump right into it. And welcome everybody.
Yay. So, is there anyone there yet?
Oh yes, they're here, Liz. Go ahead.
Okay.
You just have to pretend like there's an audience in front of you. My husband thinks it's funny. He'll come home from work and see me at home all by myself, like talking to all these people. And he's like, how do you do that? I said, well, there's people there. You and I, Liz, we're used to working at home and running our business. So we don't usually are in front of audiences, but this is a virtual audience.
Okay. So, I'm actually I have a master's degree from UCLA. And I worked at Microsoft. So
Cool.
I'm a Microsoft alumni. I am a software developer, which is how I put my kids through college. I'm a single mom, but I was in a very lucrative field. So, so I was used to making a lot of money and used to the high-paced demands of working 60-hour work weeks.
Wow.
And stuff like that. So, I guess, every once in a while, now it's the gig economy. So we were all working contracts, and in between contracts, then my friend in New York and we would say, oh, well, we should open a website. Yeah, we should open a website. And so I said, okay, well, obviously I can build a website. So you just go get the product. Mm-hmm. So that's how we started. And that was in 2008, and we were testing our PayPal buttons. Mm-hmm. And so we're testing our PayPal buttons, and I said, well, did you do it? No, did you do it? Oh, it's a real customer.
I love it when that happens.
Yeah. So I guess it was August of 2008, and by the end of the year, we had made $900 in sales.
But see, that's 900 you didn't have before, right?
Right. It was
and I always tell people the first step to make money online is to make a little bit of money, and then once you know how to do it, you scale it up. And you totally did that, 10 times over, right?
Right. However, you really need to kind of look at if you're a take action person, like we're all used to talking, and listening to Michelle, and she is definitely a take action person. And so am I. So, it's like you have to ask, well, am I going to send out like 300 orders this weekend, or do I have to watch Netflix? It's like that.
Priorities.
Right. You have to look at your priorities, because once you become responsible, if you're selling bath bombs or something like so. Another experience John and I had was he has a friend named Phil who makes iodine. So I said, okay, so let's put that on our website.
Just like the liquid iodine stuff?
Yeah, it was liquid iodine.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, we were just kind of tooling along, and I had my full-time job as a software developer, and John, he had his full-time job in New York working for Verizon.
And you're on the West Coast, so you guys are like completely far apart.
Right, right. And so then the tsunami hit Japan, and I don't know why, but all of a sudden this our little website, which was hardly ever found, got found by people all over the world because we had this iodine. Why they wanted iodine, it's like I didn't even have time to think about it. Just send it out.
Yeah. So you sold a lot of iodine.
Oh my God, we sold so much iodine. So what happened is so I'd come home from work and then I'd look at all the orders in my PayPal, and PayPal is great I think everyone should have PayPal. That's doing a business. And so what we did is we divided and conquered. I said, okay, so like John took everything on the east of the Mississippi and Europe, and I took everything west of the Mississippi and Asia. And we were like dropping off like shopping bags full of orders for iodine every morning before going to work. So we go to work, come home, pack orders all night.
Oh, wow.
And then take it to the post office in the morning and go to work. So you need to really ask yourself, are you the kind of take action person who is going to do this? Or are you going to say, oh, well, my husband says I have to stop work at 10 o'clock at night. Okay. And so in the meantime, the whole world is going upside down over a tsunami. But my husband says I have to turn off, everything at 10 o'clock. So, I mean, you really
take care of your customers and deliver customer service no matter what. So you got to be able to do that. If it blows up like that on you. So you've had multiple experiences where you've put out a product and all of a sudden it just exploded on you.
Right. Like this pandemic, I mean, it's kind of the same way.
Yeah.
And so you've got all these people like me and Michelle working at home, and there's people out there that are in stay-at-home and they're getting frustrated because they have nothing to do. Well, Michelle and I, it's like we have so much to do. It's crazy. Yeah. And so I put piles and piles of orders out in front of my house for the postman to come pick up because we had to stay at home. And so, there's a way.
You find a way and you make a way. I love it. So let's say somebody's brand new and they're like, you know what? I'm making these little bath bombs or lip balms or bath salts, or maybe even it's jewelry or craft. I kind of prefer the things that are consumable because a consumable is a great product to have. So that it runs out or people wash it down the drain, that kind of product like you have.
Iodine.
Like iodine. They wash it down the drain. What a great product, right?
Yeah.
So anything like that, and it's easier to do because you can go wholesale the products and put your logos and brands on it, which you've exactly done. The crafts and the jewelry end of it, those kinds of things, I think takes too long to paint a painting or design a bracelet or a necklace or something, in my opinion, but maybe that's somebody else's thing. But what are some things? You already mentioned that PayPal is really important. So everybody should get a PayPal account, right?
Right. Get a PayPal account. Now, so I guess a little bit about, whether you're doing consumables or if you're doing artwork and stuff, you really have to know yourself and what time you have.
Good.
So if you don't have time to send out 300 bottles of iodine every night and you just have a picture, you want to paint pictures and sell that one picture, you just really have to know yourself. So it's important to know yourself first and then your target market. Yeah. And so the reason PayPal is so great is it does do international exchange rates. And so the whole world, anyone, I mean, it's like we just had this little website, and when people wanted iodine, they found us. Okay, so whatever you have that is special, and try and make it, special. Do what we call competitive analysis. Let's just say you want to make lavender bath bombs. Well, go out there and look at how many lavender bath bombs there are out there. And how can you make yours better? How can you make yours special?
And differentiate.
Yeah. Yeah. So PayPal is great. So when you get started on PayPal, you have to prove yourself. And so if you get some money in, they're going to hold the funds for a while because sometimes customers want refunds, return, and things like that. And so once PayPal, it's a little bit like a regular bank. When they see that you're getting regular transactions and there's a good flow of money, even if it's $900, then they will decide over time, how much money you can take out without holding it. So,
I've seen that also in spikes too. I don't know if you has, Liz, where yeah, I've been a PayPal customer for the last 10 years, but suddenly I had this big huge spike in sales, and so they're like, well, that's like way more than we've seen come through in a day or two. So then they'll hold that for a couple of days. But I've only had that happen a couple of times with PayPal. They've always been really great with me.
Yeah, they're really great, and so they don't even hold anything back from me and John anymore.
That's nice. Oh, I see a bunch of people online, a bunch of questions. Let me take a few of these.
Okay.
Let's see. I see. Let's see. Henry says, "Oh, where's our?"
Hi, Henry.
Hi, Henry. Yeah, we were just talking about you yesterday, Henry.
Yeah, I want to buy a book from you.
Yeah, she wants to buy one of your books. Henry has some really cool coloring books, right? Some of his coloring. Is it the coloring book? I'm trying to think of which one. Let's see. Who do we have here? This one. Somebody got a Zoom. That's not us. Somebody's here. I'm here. Welcome. We're glad that you're here. Thanks for the invite. Hi. Sorry I'm late. Welcome, Sharon, on watching on YouTube. Oh, she's watching on Facebook today. Someone's weaning off TV. They say people with big TVs have small bank accounts. I love it. Well said. And you're right, Liz. Sleep is overrated, right? That was great. From Patty. Patty says, you're right. Sleep is overrated. And Henry says, the tsunami caused the nuclear plant to melt down, causing a major release of nuclear material in the air and the ocean. And the iodine helps with the radioactivity. You were in the right place at the right time. Unfortunately, fortunate. Exactly. And right now, even pandemic time, that happens to a lot of people too. And Patty says, having an online business has been a godsend during the Corona business, Patty says. Oh my gosh, hasn't it ever? Because otherwise, what would we, being already established, it has really helped.
And working at home, right?
Yeah.
And keeping busy. I think some of the super sellers out there that had their own warehouses and their own people and everything, I think that they didn't do so well in this coronavirus.
Yeah. Well, you're quite a super seller too. You just do it from home, right?
Well, you are too. Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, look at me and look at Michelle. It's like you can make a living doing this, but you have to really know yourself first.
It does take work. It doesn't just come.
And if Netflix is more important to you, then you have to know that.
Yeah.
Right.
And however much time I have to invest in it. So let's see. You talked also about some different sales channels. Where am I going to sell my boutique items? Let's say I'm mixing something up with my little oils or whatever it is I'm creating. And where am I going to sell my boutique items on the internet?
Well, so again, you need to know yourself and also know how much money you want to invest. So like if you have a regular day job and a regular income, and income isn't so important, I know somebody who opened a Shopify account and she did nothing with it. So, if you open a Shopify account.
And there's a fee to do that.
Right. There's a fee. And so if you have a good day job and it doesn't matter to you that you're paying this fee every month and you're doing nothing, then just know that about yourself. Okay.
And I like to tell people to make money in their business first. And then with the money you make, always invest it in something else. So probably some better, cheaper, or even free sales channels might be.
Well, okay. So you can open websites. You can ask in your circle of friends if anybody is doing websites and see if anyone will do them for free. I have friends. I do them for free. I have a hosting site that probably has like 25 different websites on it. And so I put them up for my friends. And I've noticed that some of my friends do something with it, and others, like, they never even get off the ground. And so, that kind of speaks to, you really have to know who you are. So, like, for instance, I don't know. I know Henry. If Henry wants a website, then he can contact me. But you can take action. It's like, I'll frame it up there, but he has.
Henry's a take action person.
Right.
He gets stuff done.
So, example is a WordPress site. Okay,
that's what I do.
A common thing that people do. But you really have to learn about WordPress so that your WordPress site doesn't get hacked, because it's right. And so that's a whole nother thing, right?
What about just creating your own Facebook group?
Right, Facebook group, Instagram. So here's something I learned just yesterday. Is like, for instance, I guess I do dietary supplements, right? Iodine, because it's an ingestible, right? So I cannot sell that on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Facebook does not allow dietary supplements, no vitamins, no, I don't know.
Like holistic things?
Well, it would allow jewelry. It might maybe bath bombs, maybe essential oils, but you need to test it. See the terms and conditions and see if you can actually put it up there. If not, it turns out that even though Instagram is owned by Facebook, they have a different set of rules.
Oh, interesting.
I just found out yesterday that like dietary supplement companies have a huge presence on Instagram, which is probably why the young who used to dominate Instagram have moved on somewhere else, because they just want to do their thing. They don't want all this commercialism.
But if you're creating something that, maybe it's a bubble bath or something, that some of those things, just check for Facebook first, but selling on Facebook is free.
Yeah, I would check Facebook first, because I think I'm just making an assumption that anyone who is like in one of Michelle's Facebook groups is already a member of Facebook and sees what's going on. So I would try Facebook first, unless you're doing a dietary supplement. I don't know about hemp, CBD, but whatever. You have to check first rather than plan a big strategy and then be disappointed.
Well, now you have some of your products in a particular product line have CBD in them?
No.
I thought I saw on your website that some of them had a CBD in it, just a portion of it. No?
It's ozonated oil.
Oh, okay. Some years. Okay. See, I don't know that stuff very well. I'm not educated on that. Okay, so let's say somebody, they could also sell, let's back up, on Etsy or eBay too, right? Or Amazon?
So eBay, the Etsy, eBay, Amazon thing, I would say the easiest entry point there is eBay. So actually, Michelle and I belong to a meetup, which is now not doing anything because it's stay at home. So there's a lot of help out there in the eBay community.
A lot of support, yeah.
Yeah, you can find eBay groups to help you out getting going. And it's the easiest way to start. You could, like, even if you had a sewing machine, somebody just had a sewing machine that they wanted to get rid of from whatever, and I found it on eBay. So if you just have like single things, if you're like someone who is a day job and you just want to do this kind of on the side, eBay's a great place for that.
But you do this, like, this is major full time. I mean, you were getting up in the morning, packing orders and shipping them out at the end of the day. This is your, so you don't do the software engineer job or at Microsoft anymore. You are solely online.
Yeah, okay, so there's a couple of things around that that's interesting is people told me that you're never going to be a success unless you actually do your business full time. And so now for this audience, full time means at least 8 hours a day minimum. That's what full time is. Okay. It's not that you're not doing anything else. Okay.
Not 2 hours a day.
Yeah. So a minimum of 8 hours a day is full time. And so it really makes a difference when you wake up and say, okay, so I got to go to my job and I've got to do this and I got to do that. And then when I come home, then, then I'm going to do my online business. And so eBay's really good place to get your feet wet on that. Now, Etsy, Etsy's really good for, I guess, unique things. However, there's two things that I've heard, and so you'll have to fact check this, is that people steal ideas off of Etsy.
Oh, well, they steal them off the internet everywhere.
Yeah. So, I mean,
people steal my
you'll have to fact check that. Now there's, okay, so I saw essential oils on Etsy.
Yes.
I was shopping there once, and then the seller on Etsy says, help, Etsy won't let us put certain information on our postings about our essential oils anymore. Please help.
Like medical claims, you mean?
Well, she couldn't even say.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So, I didn't know her personally, but, I couldn't, I don't know. So, I mean, that's another thing is if you want to go on, let's just say you want to go on Etsy and sell essential oils. First thing to do is go on Etsy and look at all the other essential oils and look at how they're worded. I mean, even that would apply to eBay also, wherever you think you're going, whatever marketplace. Now, here's another marketplace is Facebook Marketplace.
Yes. And then we did
I tried Facebook Marketplace.
We did have a question coming up here, and that was from somebody on Facebook. Are you talking about a Facebook store or ads on Facebook? How are you effectively selling on Facebook is the question.
Okay, so because I can't sell dietary supplements on Facebook, I just tried putting some earbuds up on Facebook Marketplace, and that's probably not what you want to do. I tried it, and so I'd get people who want to buy the earbuds and they want to meet me at the Max train station and give me cash, and I mean, it was just like,
you don't have time for that. You're just shipping all over the world right now, so that's your audience.
Right. Yeah. So Facebook Marketplace is not like that. So if you can open a Facebook store, it depends upon your product. That could be a great place for you.
Well, let's talk about the product. So some people who are creating their boutique store, if you're creating any kind of product to sell online, the best thing to do is get your products at wholesale. Put a label on it, mark it as your brand color or logo or whatever that is, and then sell it at a retail price. So how do people find products? There's lots of products out there, but how do they find a wholesale product so they can keep their costs low and get a good return on their investment?
Okay, so I love a place called Essential Wholesale. So essentialwholesale.com happens to be in Portland. And so I can go to will call and pick it up.
Are you
during coronavirus time? I have.
Because you're in the Portland metro area, right?
I'm not. Yeah, right. So Essential Wholesale is pretty good. And so if you're doing anything having to do with skincare or hand sanitizer or essential oils and things like that, they wholesale essential oils even. And they also have videos on, do it yourself, how to make things. Great. I talked to them years ago, and they said there's, it's okay to do a kitchen table cottage industry, which is kind of, where we're at. And that they sell a lot of stuff to people who they just make it at home and then they sell it.
Great.
So don't think that you necessarily have to be FDA approved, unless you're doing something like, I don't know, vitamins or something.
Something you ingest.
There's different. Right. And so Essential Wholesale doesn't sell that kind of thing anyway. So so if you get really big, they'll bottle it. Oh, I have to tell you about bottles. So
tell
there
us.
is yes, it's called Specialty Bottle out of Seattle. Mm-hmm. And you can actually call them on the phone. They're really, really nice. And you can buy like one bottle or, 50 bottles. So a lot of the other places you have to buy a lot of bottles. So the trick when you buy on Specialty Bottle is you can put in your zip code and it'll give you like an estimated shipping. So what I do is like I keep moving the quantity of bottles up or down until I get the right break point of the shipping. It's like,
of course,
if I'm going to pay that shipping, then I might as well get the maximum bottles for that shipping price. So that's really interesting, and they are very, very nice. If you don't want the tops on the bottles, you can email them and they'll adjust the price. So they'll take 10 cents off for the cap or something. They're really, really nice people.
Now, do they put your logo?
So let's see, that's where I get my bottles. Oh, say that again.
I think we have a delay on the line. Sorry about that. Does Specialty Bottle, do they put your logo and brand on it for you?
No, those are just the raw bottles.
Okay.
So this is what's really important about labels is I tried lots of different labels.
Yeah, you have some
and
good
the one
on there.
Yeah. So I don't know if I can mention my website. Michelle can tell.
Yeah, it's up to you. You decide what you want to do.
Oh, so my website is naturalalternativepath.com, and you can take a look at the labels that I put on the bottles. And what I use, so I tried a lot of different labels. And so the best labels I found, I print them on, it's called Avery Weatherproof labels, and you can get them on eBay. Mm-hmm. And if you put them on a bottle, whether it's plastic, so here's the bottle test, put it on plastic or a glass bottle, and then you try running it under water with soap and water and see if you can wash off the label or wash off the printing. So, so I get those printed at Kinko's or FedEx office. So I get them, printed that way because the color is like really brilliant. The resolution is good. Unless you want the dot matrix look, so it depends upon, the look that you want, I guess. So, yeah. So that's how I make my labels. I would highly recommend that. Now there's what?
I'm just like, this is really great.
So you can get shrink wrap.
I'm taking notes.
Oh yeah. Well, if you recorded it, you can watch it again. So if you want shrink wrap for your bottles, Specialty Bottle carries that also. So, they don't carry like all the shrink wrap. So if you get really big, so we buy, I still buy from Specialty Bottle, but I also buy from a company called SKS-bottle.com. And they have minimums. You can't just buy onesie twosies. However, they do have more shrink wrap. So if you can't find the shrink wrap at Specialty Bottle, then go to SKS-bottle and order from there. And you have to suck it up for the postage, whatever it happens to be. Oh, boxes. Okay. So I buy my boxes at uline.com.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And so let's get back to like essential oils or bath bombs or something. So they have a box that is 4 inches by 4 inches by 4 inches. So it's a mug sized box. And they have regular boxes, and then they have the a lighter weight boxes. The lighter weight boxes, they're only like 19 cents a box.
Nice.
And you have to buy them in bundles of 25, and they charge you postage. So kind of do that same thing, is just go through the sales funnel and see what your postage is going to be. And if you don't like it, bail. And then you got, all those marketers out there saying, well, I don't know why people bail in the sales funnel. It's like, well, it's because you don't tell us up front what the postage is.
Oh, that's great. I love it. Now, when you're putting your labels, I'm going to back up for just a minute because you were telling me how, because we're talking about natural products, which usually is something that people put in a boutique. If you're creating a natural product, people are kind of inclined to keep their logo and their branding to be something natural looking. So you had some tips for us on that when you're using symbols and branding.
Oh, okay. So let's see. I heard two questions there, but I'm going to answer the first one first. I have one of those tables that it's a tile table. And so I actually love it because I can put the bottle on a table so it doesn't roll around. I put it on the tile line. And then I use the other tile lines to kind of eyeball and try and get the label on straight. And it takes some practice. And so if your eyes aren't aligned, then you have to kind of learn yourself. Well, it looks aligned to my misaligned eyes. So I'm just going to tweak it to, this way or this way, and then, put it on the bottle. So if you got the label on the bottle and it's so crooked, if you pull it off right away, it'll come off. If you leave it on there, it's going to bind and it's going to be harder to get off. So another thing is that you could use that orange goo stuff to try and get some of the labels off. Or another way is soak them in hot soapy water.
Oh, you know what else I've discovered is a good way to remove sticky goo is eye makeup remover.
Oh, that's great.
That oil-free eye makeup remover, that stuff just takes stickers and things off. Just dab a little on a cotton ball.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Patty asked the question, are you still working at Microsoft or are you here full time? Oh, you're like way full time, right?
Oh, so like I'm way full time, and it's like what happened, I mean, especially like, during the pandemic, what happened is like I've got my customer base now. It's like, then you have to decide what happens if you get really big. What are you going to do? When are you going to go, when are you going to quit your day job?
And you've done that.
And so I've done that because I'm so busy with my own business that there's no way I can serve my customer base and do the day job at the same time.
That's awesome. Okay. So talk about the logo.
That's many years. Like I said, I started in 2008. It's been a long time coming.
That's great. So talk about the logo and the symbol real quick.
Oh, right. So don't just pick up any symbol or logo off the internet. Michelle says get public domain things and stuff like that. So I was looking around for something. I was looking for like an eyeball, and I thought, oh, you know what? There's an eyeball on the dollar, the dollar bill. It's like on the top of the pyramid. I don't know if you guys have looked.
Yeah.
But there is one. And I thought, well, that's a cool eye. So I went around looking for an eye that looked like the one on the dollar bill. and I was going to put it on my label. And so this is really important. Test market it with your friends first. Mm-hmm. And so I sent the picture to a few of my friends, and one of my friends, she said that I don't know what the name of it, but I guess she's, I don't know, Christian, but there's so many different Christian denominations. It's like, whether it's Christian,
religious sect out there found that it was a negative symbol.
Yeah, it was a negative thing. And so, it depends upon how aligned you are to what. Like, for instance, 13 candles, there's some people who are just like totally in horror of the number 13. So,
interesting.
I mean, that's another example, is that if you're going to put, some numbers on your thing, even the lot number, if you want to just like fake a lot number, maybe you don't want to put a lot number that has 13 in it. Maybe you don't want to put 13 ounces. Maybe you want to put like 12.9 ounces. Mm-hmm. Maybe you don't want to sell it for $13. Maybe you don't want to put the eyeball on the dollar bill. I mean, you can't do that. But if you find one that looks like it's got a pyramid with an eyeball on it that I found, I thought, well, that one looks like it. And then my friend was just an absolute drop dead horror. And I thought, okay, I'm not using that. I don't know the details, but if it's some kind of symbol that some religion doesn't like, we'll skip it.
Or even if you're selling all over the world, like you're selling all over Europe and Asia, your products. If you create a symbol that's offensive to another a geographic region, because some places find certain animals that are sacred, or there's certain things that are symbols that are sacred, and if you use those in a way, so it's a good idea to think about who your audience is and look at those symbols and run it past some friends before you go and plaster it all over your bottles and website and products.
Yeah, especially your logo. I mean, if you do a logo that's got like 13 elephants, I don't know, someone's going to take offense to that.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome advice. I think it's really cool to hear your story. I love hearing how you've shared the ups and the downs and the things to do and the things not to do. I'm going to pause a minute and see if we have any other questions out here. And while we do that, Liz, maybe think about, how you want to wrap that up and tell people they really can do this if you commit it and take action, breathe some belief into them. And
okay, so while Michelle's doing that, once you have, like, let's say if you're doing bath bombs, for instance, that, over time you might start your first year with bath bombs. If you have your own website or your own store, see if you could put up or make some products that are kind of related to bath bombs, so that you have what's called a product family. Mm-hmm. And that will
extend it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it will be extended, kind of like Michelle doesn't just have one book, or Michelle doesn't only do coloring books, for instance. She does a lot of different books. And so extend your product family. You can even sell 2-packs.
Bundles,
right? Bundles. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like a lavender bath bomb with a bottle of lavender essential oil. Mm-hmm. That's got your logo on it or something like that.
Oh, that's great advice. So once you get going, if you extend and create a family of products, because once you already have a customer, what they say, it's easier to keep the customer than it is to always go find new ones, right? And letting those customers know, hey, you brought this product, you might also enjoy this product too, and letting them know you have an all new product coming out. So could I ask how many products that you sell online? How many varieties?
See on my website, you mean?
Well, just all together, maybe.
Oh, all together, maybe 200.
About 200 different products. That's awesome. Wow.
Okay, so like what happened is somebody bought iodine from Phil besides me. I mean, he sells to a bunch of people, right?
Mhm.
So that person is in Texas, and like a long time ago, she put it up on Amazon. And so we were just kind of mad about it, right? But did we ever open an Amazon account? No, we didn't. We were just like sitting there mad about it. And so, and she had dropped the price to $8, but you can only, postage going to cost you $3.50. And so she was not making a profit because we know how much, so we decided she must just be some kind of zealot that wants people to use this iodine because she's clearly taking a loss on it. So anyway, we eventually got on Amazon and thought we could sell the stuff on our website on Amazon. And so we took a special Amazon course and everything, and we found out that we couldn't. So Amazon's got like really strict guidelines about what you can do. And some things are grandfathered in. But any new, let's just say iodine coming into the market, they're restricting because they have this group of COVID-19 things. So anything that is like a medicine or a supplement that is going to benefit people in the COVID-19 arena, you have to get special permission from them and prove all sorts of stuff. And so just like stay away from it. Just because maybe you see, so it was zinc. So there's tons of zinc already out there, but tried to bring in a new zinc and they said no. So that's something to test before you buy some zinc. And then you've got, more space in your garage that is, I don't know what you're going to do with it, except I put it on eBay.
There you go. You just use a different sales channel.
Right. Yeah. And so on eBay, I've sold 2 bottles of zinc. So
yeah. Well, you sell hundreds and hundreds of products every week, it sounds like. So you are just slammed busy all the time. What a great inspiration that is to people that, you can start an online business. You don't have to be a software engineer previously in your other job. Anybody could really start a business. And if you caught this later on, Liz actually went through places where you can get your products and your packaging and everything else online. So be sure to listen to this. And so I want to.
Did I say Mountain Rose Herbs? Mountain Rose Herbs in Eugene, Oregon.
Who?
MountainRoseHerbs.com.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Because I was over at Essential Wholesale one day and I discovered that they get their some of their products from Mountain Rose Herbs. So why don't you just go over there? They have a different selection of things if you want, like teas. They have a lot of teas, but check them out.
Interesting. Well, those are wonderful. Thank you for all those absolutely fabulous tips, Liz. And thank you, everybody, for joining us here today. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like this video, give us a thumbs up, and click subscribe to the channel. Also, click the little bell icon at the top so you'll get notified when new videos come out. If you're watching on our Facebook group, please like this video. And, if you know somebody that's wanting to start their own online boutique and they're looking for resources and tips to get started with that, tag them in this video or share this with them on Facebook so that they can get some really amazing, awesome tips from somebody who's been there, done that, and where they get all the products and how to get started online. Wonderful tips. I thank you so much for joining us today, Liz, and everybody who's watching. Thank you. You're very, very welcome. Thank you. So everybody go out there and make some money and then do some good in the world with it.
Yay.